What's up everyone, it's Horford2 back for you. Now, as you guys probably don't know, for the last couple of weeks leading up to the iPhone SE release date, which is already released, basically a lot of suspense has been drawn to the iPhone SE, and people have been basically having tons of wacky ideas as to what the iPhone SE may look like, as well as the internals of the new phone. Now that the phone is already released, something has already been at the back of people's minds for quite a while now, and that is none other than the iPhone 7. And yes guys, as you can tell by the title of this video, that is exactly what we will be speculating today. Now, if you guys probably don't know, on this channel, I have basically talked about pretty much nothing about the iPhone 7. Actually, I'll have a link down below for a very brief video of the iPhone 7 that I did a couple of months ago. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave it down below, but it isn't really that much informative. But anyways, guys, with the iPhone 7 releasing sometime this year in September, we are getting extremely close to it. And surprisingly, guys, this might blow your brains out, but with the iPhone 7, we already know a great amount, a really decent amount of what the capabilities that the new phone will have. And guess what, guys? The things that I'm going to say in this video are 100% legitimate, and they are things that have been already claimed, so please don't worry. I'm not just some other random person that comes up things off the top of their minds, off the top of their heads. Obviously, I have a script right next to me, and basically, guys, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is everything that we know so far about the iPhone 7. And this is basically going to be a very informative video. So if you guys are interested in the iPhone 7, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're new. So basically, guys, one of the main things about the iPhone 7 is what the phones will be. So basically what I mean by that is how many versions of this new phone will be, because you know we have a plus version of the 6 and 6S. Well, guess what, guys? This new iPhone 7 is actually going to have the iPhone 7 itself, the iPhone 7 Plus, and you think it ends right there? Guess what, guys? There is a third iPhone 7, and that is dubbed the iPhone 7 Pro. Now, basically, guys, doesn't that sound pretty crazy how there's like 3 different iPhones? Well, guess what? The 7 Pro is like, I can't believe it right now, guys. I'm just babbling all about how there's 3 versions of the iPhone 7, but let's continue on, guys. Basically, the 7 Pro is kind of like the main version of the 3 phones. And basically, yeah, so there's going to be 3 phones, and we'll go more in-depth as we talk about this. Now, one of the main things about the iPhone 7 is what will it look like. Now, before we actually get to that, I want to talk about a very notorious person, a very notorious Apple analyst, and his name is Min-Chi Kao. I hope I'm saying that right. But basically, he has many theories stating what Apple will be having, and he claims that there will be a not-so-steady jump in the iPhone 8. Apparently, we will actually go back to the historic times of the iPhone, and the iPhone 8 will actually ditch the 7S, and we will actually go right to the iPhone 8 in 2017. And by historic, I mean that the iPhone 8 will actually go back to the old style looking iPhone, so I don't know how people are going to deal with that, but that's exactly a true fact right there. Now we actually get to what the iPhone 7 is going to look like. Now, after many weeks of speculation, I think this is probably the most well-known one, and that is this picture right here. Now, please be sure that this is not really a confirmed image. This is all render and just fan ideas, but this is actually a picture from Mac Rumors, and this is what the iPhone 7 may look like. As you can tell, one of the most annoying features that people hate about the 6 is that the antenna bands are really getting in the way. And I don't really know what's so annoying about them, but apparently the antenna bands will actually be basically erased just a little bit. So as you can tell from this picture, the midpoints are actually gone, and that actually leaves the top and bottom edges to remain. So I think this looks like a pretty pretty sleeker looking design. It's not too much of a big jump from the 6, but it sure does look very, very nice. And as we move out of the aesthetics, we are actually going to go right to the camera. Now, after many weeks of rumors, the dual lens camera from Linux, which we talked about, is actually here, guys. And this type of new technology is actually going to be present in the 7 Pro. So apparently the 7 and the 7 Plus are going to have the regular 12 megapixel camera. I'm not sure if it's actually 12 megapixels. It may be more, but that's pretty much a confirmed fact. Yes, guys, the 7 Pro is actually going to have the Linux technology, and it is going to help for many things, including image stabilization, and of course higher resolution pictures, and of course low lighting. That will be a solution. So if you're taking pictures in a low lighting, it will be improved, of course, with that new flash and things like that. And the next thing, after another thing that we actually have had a rumor going on about for a while now, is the actual removal of the headphone jack. That is right, guys. If you guys didn't know, the 3.5mm headphone jack has been around for decades now, and Apple has finally decided to drop this little headphone jack. I tried to make a joke out of there, but I failed. But anyways, guys, yes, the lightning connector, the lightning port will actually take place of the headphone jack, and that allows the iPhone 7 will actually be thinner. And I think that's a very great idea. Now, as you can tell, speaking of audio, Apple has actually announced something that I don't think a lot of you guys know, but they are called the Apple earpods. Yes, but they are actually a special kind, and they are called the AirPods, which we'll actually cover in a later video. Now we're going to move into internals, which is going to get pretty interesting. For those of you who don't know, I love taking pictures, and I hope you do too. You know, take selfies. You know who you are. And speaking of selfies, they take up storage. And if you guys didn't know, 16 gigabytes will actually be eliminated, and the iPhone 7 is actually confirmed to have 32, 64, and 128 gigabytes for the 7 and 7 Plus models. And the 7 Pro is expected to have the same thing, but it will actually, may even have possibility, it will have 256 gigabytes of storage, which I think is very likely because the iPad Pro 9.7-inch has it too, which we'll probably talk about in a later video. And of course, hopefully my camera didn't die, the display. Now, resolution is very important, and I don't know why I'm using an iPhone 5 as this picture, but as far as the resolution goes, there's this thing called pixels per inch, and Apple has confirmed that they'll actually go from 326 ppi apparently, or let's see, yeah, 326 ppi, which is pixels per inch, to 469. So that's a pretty nice bump, but quite honestly, it's not that much, and the 7 Plus may just remain 1080p. But as far as the resolution goes, it's a pretty good jump, but it's not dramatic in any way. And of course, the battery life. Actually, yes, the battery life. It is expected to be a lot longer, which that's pretty much what Apple has said to us. And of course, the most important thing, the processor. For those of you who don't know, the iPhone 6s and 6 Plus have the A9/M9 Motion Co processor. Well, guess what? The A10 is here, and I think Intel is really surprised at what Apple is doing, because this processor is gonna be way faster. It will be very useful for, absolutely zippy sensation when you're using the new iPhone. It will be very fast, pretty much no lag, and of course a faster Touch ID is expected to be on these new phones. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much all we know about the iPhone 7 series that's coming out very soon later this year. We're getting very close now. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much all you have today for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop a like I said in the beginning, and I'll see you later very soon for more info as Apple is giving out more information about this new phone. Or should I say, these new phones.